You have big dreams, you're super motivated, but somehow you just can't get off the couch. You're ambitious, but your lazy habits keep holding you back. Does that sound familiar? Well, you're not alone. In today's video, we're going to be tackling the ultimate productivity paradox, which is how to achieve your goals without sacrificing your sanity and burning out. I'll share my top tips and strategies for overcoming procrastination, building momentum, and making consistent progress even when motivation is scarce. Whether you're a student struggling to stay on top of your assignment, a professional looking to level up their career, or simply someone looking to make the most out of the time they have, this video will help you turn your ambition into action without losing your mind. But before we get into the video, hi bandmates and to my new viewers, hi guys, I'm Abby, a final year med student, and on this channel I help overachievers make their journey towards achieving their goals as easy and enjoyable as possible. And if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, do stick around by subscribing. Now that we're done with the formalities, let's jump straight into the video. The first point is recognize that you're lazy. Acceptance is the first step to tackling any problem. You have to first of all accept that you are a lazy person. You're not laying curses on yourself. You're not trying to make yourself feel bad. You're just accepting your flaws. You know that you have a flaw and you're willing to accept that, yes, this is my flaw. You're not in denial. You're not constantly defending yourself for the bad habits you have, but rather you see them and you're actually self-aware enough to actually accept that, yes, I am a lazy person, and it's not a bad thing. It's one of the normal human behaviors once in a while to feel lazy, but it's not going to be contrary to helping you when you're constantly in denial that you're actually a lazy person. It's not going to help you, but rather it's going to create room for situations to worsen for you. And so the first step to actually combating laziness as an individual is to actually recognize that, hey, I'm a lazy person, and actually accepting it, because it's one thing for you to have a flaw and it's another thing for you to accept that you have that flaw. So acceptance of your bad behavior is usually the first step that you have to take in order to tackle whatever bad behavior that you actually have as a person. So the first step you have to take is to actually recognize that you're lazy and also accept that you're lazy. And this acceptance will now give you the room to actually look for ways to tackle this laziness that you're actually facing. The next step after recognizing that you are a lazy person is to create systems that will help you walk through your habit of laziness. You have to create systems around your day-to-day activities that will help to alleviate that laziness, because one thing about we lazy people, because I am also a lazy person, but I've recognized that I'm lazy and I've actually tried to implement things that has helped me combat this habit of laziness that I have. One of the systems that you can create is to actually change your environment, rearranging your space to actually help alleviate that nature of laziness in you. You can create systems such as setting annoying alarm sounds, keeping your phone away from the nightstand, laying out your books on the table or beside the alarm, so that when you go to snooze your alarm whenever that alarm rings, you can just hit your book and it tumbles on the floor and scatters. You just have to stand up and arrange the books instead of turning off your alarm. You have to create systems around you. Maybe you're the type of person who likes to sleep with the lights off. Make sleeping really enjoyable for you, and then you see yourself oversleeping as a student. You can actually try to put on the light in your room when you're sleeping, and this light can actually be a little bit of a disturbance to you, and then you are forced to stand up and study in the night. Or if you're privileged to have all these light setups that you can actually set on your phone at a particular time for the lights to come on in your room, then you can go ahead and do that at the time when it's time for you to read your books. You know that alarms don't wake you up, but really bright light does wake you up. Then you can set your lights in to the point where whenever it's time for you to study, the light in your room automatically comes on. Your sleep is disturbed and you have no other option but to stand up and actually go and study. So you have to create systems around you that are going to make you uncomfortable, because laziness breeds uncomfortability. So you have to find ways to create systems around your day-to-day activity that will make you a lot more uncomfortable with lazying around, that will actually up to trigger you to stand up and do something. even though you didn't want to do it in the first place. So the next step after recognizing that you're lazy is to now create a system of discomfort that will bring you out of that comfortability and then prevent you from actually being lazy in the first place. Next thing that you can do if you're ambitious but lazy is to leave that cozy area. Like I said before, laziness breeds in comfortability. So if you're the type of student who likes to read in the room, but your room is very comfortable, very quiet, very serene, if that's the type of room you have, I'd like you to try to actually leave your room, your comfortable space, and go out of your space if you want to get work done and be productive for that particular day. You see yourself that you're the type that works from home, and being in the home most of the time, you see yourself you'll be eating more than you require to eat in that day because you're at home, and because you have a lot of glucose spikes in your system because you've been eating in the house. The next thing is to look at the bed because glucose is already spiked in your system and you're already feeling sleepy. The next option is to go to your bed and sleep. But if you're in the class or in the library where the chairs are uncomfortable, the light is out, cars are moving up and down, you will not be tempted to go and lie down on the bed or lie down on the bench and sleep for hours. Even if you're going to rest your head to sleep, it's not going to be more than 1 hour or 2 hours because your back will start hurting and you stand up. The best thing you can do for yourself as a lazy person is to actually leave your comfort zone, leave that room of yours, leave your home, go to a cafe, go to the library, go to the classroom, an open space, and get your work done. And you see yourself because outside the sun is hitting you, you're not seeing any bed around, you're not tempted to eat and overeat because you're bored in the house. There's no glucose spike in your system, so you see yourself being a lot more productive. So if you see yourself you're really ambitious, there's a lot of things that you want to get done but you can't do it because you see yourself constantly being lazy or getting tired because you're in your room or in your house, get your things and leave the house and go find somewhere else that is not as comfortable as your place to get your work done and be a lot more productive. Another thing that you can do if you're lazy but ambitious is to surround yourself with motivation. One thing with progress is it thrives in a like-minded community. That's why the school system is built to teach a group of like-minded individuals. They know the psychological effect it has on us as human beings, and that's why you see people who are homeschooled and did not experience the school interaction and environment, they tend to act differently compared to students who are privileged to be taught amongst their age group. If you go out to the library and you're surrounded by people who are actually there to study, you're surrounded by people who are actually ready to sit down for hours and study. If you're surrounded by this type of people, psychologically you're indirectly motivated to get your studies done much more than when you're doing it by yourself. That's why the library is created. It's not as if people do not have homes that are comfortable for them to sit and read their books, but the library plays into the psychological system that the school system make use of, which is being surrounded by people that are similar to you does for you. That's why in the class, if you go to classes and then people are answering questions and you yourself don't know that people know the answers to this question, your age mates, your classmates are answering these questions, indirectly you're motivated to be like, oh, I'm actually not studying as much as I think I am because see, these people, they know this and I actually do not know this. And you see yourself the next day, you go home and you're studying. Find a good library that you can be going to where you'll be seeing people who are doing the same thing you want to do as a student, doing it comfortably. You yourself, you're indirectly motivated. If you're the type of person that likes to work and you have colleagues also who are also working from home, all of you can find a place that you can be gathering, maybe on Fridays or Saturdays, to come and get work done together. Once in a while, if you're getting tired, you can just have a little chit chat in between your work session and then you go back to working as well. Try to find a way to surround yourself with motivation. This motivation can be listening maybe to a podcast about the things you're trying to achieve. Listening to those who have achieved it can actually act as a sudden inspiration for you to get work done because you're like, if this person is able to do it, I can do it too. Or just going to a place where people like you also gather to do the exact same thing that you're trying to do, because like I said before, progress thrives in a group of like-minded individuals. That's why you see examples of big companies hiring people to work for them, because it's not as if that they cannot do this work themselves, especially if they are working online. It's not as if they can't do this themselves, but there is just something about having a group of like-minded people together working to achieve the same goal. Indirectly, you're doing the same thing if you're at the library. Maybe all of you at the library, you're not reading the same thing. You may not know each other, but indirectly, you're all helping each other out one way or the other by actually studying, and someone else looking at you and being motivated to study as well because they see you doing the same thing. So indirectly, you're doing the same thing that these powerful CEOs of companies are doing with their co-workers. You're all doing the same thing because, like I said, progress thrives within a company of like-minded people. So go ahead and surround yourself with motivation if you're lazy, and see how it helps you in the long run to becoming better at handling your laziness as an ambitious person. If you've gotten to this point of the video, it's obvious you've been enjoying this video so far. So why haven't you liked? Please go ahead and give this video a like, because it helps YouTube to push out my video to more like-minded people like you to see. And go ahead and subscribe and turn on your post notification bells, and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Until then, stay happy and stay blessed. Bye.